I don't know what it is, Evan. Something about the Patriots bye week. It could be week 4. And for me, it's always the first half of the season is before the bye. Second half of the season is after the bye. This is the halfway point no matter when it comes.
Yeah, it's a little late in the season this year, so you have like a mini season after the bye. I think these last 6 games,
game half season.
It's going to go by really fast. That's, I think we all kind of can feel
a lot
that.
of divisional games in there. The Pittsburgh game, a lot of good stuff coming up. This is the Foxborough Report, brought to you by Action Heat. If you're looking for some heated clothing, next Patriots home game, not till December. It's going to be cold, so go to actionheat.com. They got heated coats, they got heated hats, they got heated gloves, anything you could need to stay warm at Gillette or just outside doing yard work, shoveling, whatever it is you're doing. And we can make it even better for you. You can get 20% off your order with our promo code NEWSFEED. So that is either you go to actionheat.com, put in the coupon code NEWSFEED, or go to actionheat.com/NEWSFEED. 2 ways, same savings. Make sure you check that out. All right. Mid-season awards time. Evan, your offensive MVP.
I'm going with running back James White. I think that this one's pretty easy, actually.
Yep.
He has been clearly Tom Brady's most reliable weapon week in and week out. You kind of always know what you're going to get out of James White if they give him the opportunity to get that out of him. He has 10 touchdowns already on the season, one of the best red zone threats in the league, a big reason why their red zone offense has improved this season compared to last season. James White has really elevated his game from a solid, reliable player to an elite level receiving back.
So I'm one of those sticklers for the verbiage of MVP, most valuable player, not necessarily best. So I'm going to go Josh Gordon, because we saw what the offense was before he got to New England, and we see what it is now. He maybe hasn't been the best player in the offense, but he has been wildly crucial, especially with Rob Gronkowski missing time, to them being able to put points on the board. We saw it against Kansas City. We saw it against Green Bay. To me, Josh Gordon has proven more valuable and all the value for a 5th-round pick than anybody else on the offense this season. How about on the defensive side of the ball?
On the defensive side of the ball, I'm going with Stephon Gilmore. And I think that we've seen in the past, throughout this entire Patriots dynasty, whether it's been Ty Law or Aqib Talib or Darrelle Revis, when you have that number 1 corner that can kind of take on a responsibility and shut down an opposing number 1 or number 2, and you bracket the number 1 or whatever type of concoction you want to come up with, when you have a guy that you can put him on an island and not have to worry about that assignment, it just makes everything a lot easier for everybody else. And I think that Stephon Gilmore, other than obviously what he did down in Tennessee against Corey Davis, has been spectacular this season, really playing at almost an all-pro level for the Patriots this year. And without him, I just don't know where this defense would be.
So again, I'm going to pound that valuable and most valuable player. I'm going to go with Dante Hightower. He's been very good for this team too, behind Gilmore and maybe Trey Flowers, the 3rd best player on the defense. But I think that the thing they've missed when he's been hurt the last couple of seasons is the communication on the defense. It's been one of their biggest issues. I think him being able to stay on the field, be the leader in that huddle, I think it's helped the defense play at the level they had when they went on that 6-game winning streak, holding the Packers to 17 points. Those sort of games, I think it's his communication that's been so crucial to the defense playing at this high level. And then, of course, you have Stephon Gilmore doing what he's doing. Well, and that helps, too, not to take anything away.
But to your point, a lot of the breakdowns that we've seen on the defensive side of the ball have not been busted coverages or blown communication or anything like that. There were a few of those against Kansas City, but for the most part, it's been pretty solid in that department. They've just been one-on-one battles that they've just lost.
Just superior plays by the offense.
And sometimes that's just going to happen. I mean, the offensive players get paid, too. So.
Right. All right, how about this? Pleasant surprise. Somebody, you were unsure of going into the season. You're happy with how they've turned out so far.
Trent Brown. I think Trent Brown, other than the Tennessee game where he had some trouble, has really been an absolute rock at the left tackle position. He's really improved in run blocking, and he's always been a solid pass protector, and he continues to be a solid pass protector. I think coming into the season, it wasn't necessarily doubts about him in terms of his ability. It was more doubts in terms of his longevity, his conditioning, and also just, what kind of player were they getting? Not a lot of people knew a ton about.
A guy who would just move sides of the line.
Right, move sides of the line. Yeah. And what kind of player were they getting? He played out in San Francisco. It's not like you watch a lot of 49ers games here in Foxborough. So I don't think that a lot of people knew what they were getting out of Trent Brown, and he's been very solid, save a couple games.
So I'm going to go with another first-year Patriot, and that's Jason McCourty.
Yep. When
he came in, it was, all right, Bill's, scratching Devin's back here. How much does he have left? Then he had another guy who changed positions.
Yeah.
A lot of people had him off the initial roster, and
Yeah.
He's turned into a pretty good second corner. Now, if something happens to Stephon Gilmore, I'm not sure he's your number one, but it's going to be tough to find a second corner who's been as good as Jason McCourty this year. He's certainly been the difference in them winning a couple of games. I think if, you have a guy like Jonathan Jones or one of the rookies out there over him. I mean, we saw it against the Bears, right? He didn't play much, and they won the game, but they struggled mightily defensively. I think Jason McCourty has done a great job. He's certainly in the conversation for the top two McCourtys on the Patriots team. But I think he's done a great job.
I think he's been the better McCourty. I don't think that's necessarily controversial to say either.
It's still top two.
I think he's been the better McCourty, honestly.
And, of course, there's a flip side to biggest surprise, biggest disappointment.
I'm going with Danny Shelton. I really thought when he got here that he would kind of solidify that run defense. It certainly has improved, but I'm not so sure it's improved much because of his play. And I think one of the things that we're seeing is we knew that in the middle he was going to be the guy that was going to take on a lot of double teams and create opportunities for other guys, but he just simply gets sealed out too easily on the inside. Even on those double teams, he has a little bit of trouble anchoring against them. I think we were expecting an elite run defender, and they've gotten like a good to average run defender out of Danny Shelton this year.
I'm going to go with Chris Hogan. I knew his numbers were going to be down. Like you knew the production was going to drop by him moving up the depth chart, but I thought when Josh Gordon when Josh Gordon got here, his numbers were going to go up, and they did briefly. He played very well against Kansas City, but since then, and look, I know Tom's not throwing him the ball, and that's another conversation, but he's not separating.
He's not winning routes. Let's
be honest. He's not winning routes. Whether it's a speed thing or he's not as crisp on his cuts, and I think it's a little bit of everything. He's just there's something off.
Yeah.
Maybe he's playing hurt. I don't know. Maybe it's his age catching up to him. Not that he's that old, but there's something with him that he's not doing. I've heard people say, well, maybe he's that Danny Amendola role where they're just not going to throw to him till the postseason. Yeah. But there's been times where Danny Amendola, even in the regular season, would have stepped up, and you're just not seeing Chris Hogan go there and do. And it's here's what's frustrating about it. It's tough to put your finger on exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But there's something with him where he's not that same guy.
With Tom Brady, that's just not there right now. And I think it's about how Chris Hogan's running his routes from a technical standpoint. He's just not, for some reason, not running the route the way that Tom Brady would like him to run the route. And when that happens, Brady just kind of ices you out because he just doesn't trust that when he throws the ball your direction that you're going to make the play that you're supposed to make, or you're going to be in the spot you're supposed to be in.
All right, so offensive MVP, defensive MVP, biggest surprise, biggest disappointment. Let us know yours in the comments down below or on Twitter at Patriots CLNS. From Gillette Stadium, he's Evan Lazar. I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.